Have you ever wondered why someone fell in love with you? What was it about you that captured their heart? Was it your smile, your sense of humor, your intelligence? Or was it something deeper, something you might not even be aware of yourself? The answer, according to one of history's most brilliant psychological minds, might surprise you. The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. These words from Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist who pioneered analytical psychology, reveal a profound truth about human connection. Love isn't just about finding someone attractive or compatible. It's about transformation. Today, we're diving deep into Jung's revelations about love, specifically the 3 fundamental reasons people fall in love with you. And I promise, understanding these reasons will forever change how you see your relationships. But before we explore these reasons, I need to warn you, what you're about to learn might be uncomfortable. Jung wasn't interested in superficial explanations. His work pierced through the conscious mind to reveal the hidden currents that truly drive our emotions and attractions. As he once said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. So let's pull back the curtain on what Jung discovered about love, the 3 profound psychological mechanisms that determine who falls in love with you and why. The shadow self, loving what you hide. The first reason people fall in love with you, according to Jung, involves what he called the shadow. This is perhaps the most fascinating and counterintuitive aspect of attraction. Jung defined the shadow as the unconscious part of yourself that you reject or deny. The qualities, desires, and impulses that you've pushed away because they don't fit your self-image or what society expects of you. As Jung wrote, everyone carries a shadow, and the less it is embodied in the individual's conscious life, the blacker and denser it is. Here's where it gets interesting. We are often profoundly attracted to people who embody our shadow qualities. The very aspects of ourselves that we've suppressed or rejected. Imagine a person who's always been proper, responsible, and rule-following their entire life. They may find themselves inexplicably drawn to someone free-spirited, rebellious, and spontaneous. Why? Because deep down, a part of them longs for that freedom they've never allowed themselves to express. Or consider the analytical, logical person who falls head over heels for someone deeply emotional and intuitive. There's something about their partner's emotional depth that feels like coming home, even though it's foreign to their conscious way of being. Jung explained, in all disorders of the self, the connection with the shadow plays a decisive role. And love, particularly intense, passionate love, often begins with this shadow connection. This is why we sometimes hear people say things like, "They bring out a side of me I never knew existed." Your partner may be activating parts of your shadow self that have remained dormant, allowing you to experience yourself more fully. The shadow mechanism works in both directions. Someone may fall in love with you because you represent qualities they've suppressed within themselves. You might embody their unacknowledged creativity, strength, vulnerability, or passion. As Jung noted, the shadow is a moral problem that challenges the whole ego personality. When someone falls in love with aspects of your personality that reflect their shadow, they're beginning a profound psychological journey, one that can lead to either growth or projection. This is why some relationships feel so mysteriously compelling. There's literally a hidden dimension to the attraction, unconscious forces drawing two people together like powerful magnets. As Jung wrote, in the unconscious lies not only the key to individual life, but the key to the collective psyche. But there's a danger here too. When we project our shadow onto others, we may eventually become disappointed when they don't perfectly embody these qualities. Or we may try to control these aspects of them that actually scare us within ourselves. Jung cautioned that projections, change the world into the replica of one's own unknown face. True love requires us to withdraw these projections and see the other person as they truly are. The anima and animus. Falling in love with your soul's counterpart. The second reason people fall in love with you involves what Jung called the anima and animus, the unconscious feminine side in men and masculine side in women. Jung believed that each person carries within them aspects of the opposite gender, not just biologically or socially, but psychologically. For men, this inner feminine aspect is the anima. For women, the inner masculine is the animus. These archetypes represent our soul's counterpart, the complementary energy we need for wholeness. The anima is the woman within the man, his primordial, feminine nature, Jung wrote. Similarly, the animus is the man within the woman, her masculine nature. These inner figures represent our gateway to the unconscious mind and play a crucial role in our attractions and relationships. Here's how it works. We often project our anima or animus onto potential partners. A man may be attracted to women who embody qualities of his own inner feminine nature. A woman might find herself drawn to men who represent aspects of her inner masculine self. This explains why we sometimes feel we've known someone all our life when we've just met them. There's an uncanny familiarity because, in a sense, we're recognizing aspects of our own soul in the other person. Jung observed, the projection-making factor is the anima, or unconscious feminine side in men, and the animus, or the masculine side in women. When someone falls in love with you, they may be seeing in you the perfect embodiment of their anima or animus, their soul's ideal counterpart. This creates a powerful sense of completion. As Jung said, the meeting of anima and animus is the classical encounter with destiny. It feels like finding your other half, the missing piece that makes you whole. But there's complexity here too. Our anima or animus isn't just shaped by our inherent nature. It's profoundly influenced by our earliest relationships, particularly with our opposite-sex parent or primary caregivers. Jung noted that the anima is strongly influenced by the mother, the animus by the father. This means someone might fall in love with you because you remind them, unconsciously, of healing qualities they never received from their opposite-sex parent. Or you might represent the positive qualities they did experience and now seek again. As Jung wrote, no matter how much parents and grandparents may have sinned against the child, the man who is really adult will accept these sins as his own, condition which has to be reckoned with. Love often represents the unconscious attempt to heal these childhood wounds through connection with another. The anima-animus projection creates a powerful emotional charge that feels magical, even spiritual. Jung acknowledged this numinous quality. The anima and animus are the archetypal symbols of the unconscious. They are, as it were, the door through which the unconscious reveals itself. When someone falls in love with you based on anima or animus projection, the relationship carries transformative potential. But for love to mature, both people must eventually recognize these projections and develop these qualities within themselves, rather than depending on the other person to embody them. As Jung advised, your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. The self recognizing your true nature. The third and deepest reason people fall in love with you, according to Jung, involves what he called the self, the archetype of wholeness and the regulating center of the psyche. Unlike the ego, our conscious sense of identity, the self represents our entire psyche, including both conscious and unconscious elements. It's our true nature, our complete, authentic being. As Jung wrote, The self is not only the center, but also the whole circumference, which embraces both conscious and unconscious. It is the center of this totality, just as the ego is the center of consciousness. When someone falls in love with you at this level, they're recognizing and responding to your authentic self, often before you fully recognize it yourself. They see past your personas and defenses to the essential you. Jung described this type of recognition as a feeling of immediate familiarity, as if one had always known this person. There's a sense of rightness and resonance that transcends logic or conventional attraction. It feels destined, as if your souls recognize each other. This level of attraction has a numinous, almost spiritual quality. As Jung noted, the self is the archetype of wholeness and the regulating center of the psyche. It is experienced as a transpersonal power which transcends the ego. When someone connects with yourself in this way, they love you not just for what you do or how you make them feel, but for who you essentially are. They see your potential, your wholeness, your authentic nature, even parts of yourself you may not yet have discovered. Jung emphasized that the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. A love based on self-recognition supports this journey toward authenticity rather than imposing expectations or demanding you play certain roles. This is why some relationships feel liberating rather than constraining. When someone loves your true self, you feel free to grow and evolve. As Jung put it, the shoe that fits one person pinches another. There is no recipe for living that suits all cases. Self-level love is rare and profound. Most relationships begin with shadow projections or animus attractions, and only some evolve to this deeper recognition. But when it happens, it creates a foundation for lasting love. In Jung's words, where love rules, there is no will to power, and where power predominates, their love is lacking. The one is the shadow of the other. When someone loves yourself, the relationship transcends power struggles and becomes a vehicle for mutual growth and individuation. This doesn't mean such relationships are without challenges. In fact, self-level love often brings our deepest issues to the surface precisely because it's safe enough to do so. Jung acknowledged this paradox. There is no birth of consciousness without pain. The interplay of these three reasons. While I've described these three reasons separately, in reality, they often operate simultaneously and in complex combinations. A person may initially be attracted to you because of shadow projection, then discover animus connections, and eventually recognize and love your authentic self. As Jung wrote, the psychological rule says that when an inner situation is not made conscious, it happens outside, as fate. Our unconscious attractions and projections will find their way into our relationships one way or another. Understanding these dynamics doesn't diminish the wonder of love, it deepens it. Knowing that someone may love you because you activate their shadow, embody their animus, or recognize their true self adds layers of meaning to your connections. Jung believed that relationships are central to our psychological development. Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. Our loving connections provide mirrors that help us see ourselves more clearly. The greatest gift of Jungian psychology is the recognition that love isn't just about finding someone who checks certain boxes or makes us feel good. It's about transformation. As Jung said, the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. Moving beyond projections, the path to mature love now. That we understand the three psychological reasons people fall in love with us. How can we use this knowledge to create healthier, more authentic relationships? Jung emphasized that mature love requires withdrawing projections and seeing both ourselves and our partners more clearly. Whenever we give up, leave behind, and forget too much, there is always the danger that the things we have neglected will return with added force, he warned. The work of love, then, is recognizing when we're projecting our shadow or anima, our animus, onto others, and slowly taking back these projections. This doesn't mean the attraction disappears, rather, it transforms. We begin to love the real person, not just our projection onto them. Jung described this process. To confront a person with his shadow is to show him his own light. Once one has experienced a few times what it is like to stand judgingly between the opposites, one begins to understand what is meant by the self. Similarly, when others fall in love with you, they may initially be seeing their own projections. As the relationship deepens, your task is to gently help them see you as you truly are, rather than as the perfect embodiment of their shadow or anima, animus. Jung cautioned that where love stops, power begins, and violence and terror. Love that remains trapped in projection eventually becomes controlling or disappointing. But love that evolves beyond projection becomes a journey of mutual discovery and growth. Practical applications in your life. How can we apply Jung's insights about love in our everyday relationships? First, when you feel intensely attracted to someone, ask yourself, what qualities do they embody that I may have suppressed in myself? This self-reflection can reveal whether you're experiencing shadow attraction. Second, notice patterns in your attractions. Do you consistently fall for similar types of people? Jung would suggest that these patterns reveal your anima, animus projections and unresolved psychological material. Third, in existing relationships, take responsibility for your projections. When your partner triggers intense emotions, positive or negative, consider that you may be seeing aspects of yourself reflected back at you. As Jung wrote, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Your strongest reactions often point to your shadow. Fourth, cultivate self-awareness through practices Jung valued: dream analysis, active imagination, and honest self-reflection. The more conscious you become of your own shadow and anima, animus, the less you'll unconsciously project them onto others. Finally, strive for relationships based on self-recognition, seeing and appreciating each other's authentic nature. As Jung said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. True love supports this journey rather than hindering it. Carl Jung's insights reveal that love is far more than a pleasant feeling or social arrangement. It's a profound psychological journey that reveals our hidden selves and offers opportunities for growth. People fall in love with you for three main reasons. You embody their shadow qualities, you represent their anima, animus, or they recognize your authentic self. Often these processes happen simultaneously and unconsciously. As Jung wrote, the greatest and most important problems of life are all fundamentally insoluble. They can never be solved, but only outgrown. The challenges in love aren't meant to be eliminated, but transcended through greater consciousness. Understanding these dynamics doesn't diminish love's magic, it deepens it. There's something profoundly moving about recognizing that our attractions and connections are part of a larger psychological journey toward wholeness. In Jung's words, knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darknesses of other people. The more conscious we become of our own psychological processes, the more authentically we can love and be loved. So the next time you wonder why someone loves you or why you love them, remember Jung's three reasons. Look beyond the surface to the deeper currents of shadow, anima, animus, and self. In that awareness lies the potential for transformation. As Jung reminded us, your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. May your journey of love be one of awakening to yourself, to others, and to the profound mystery of human connection. The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. This transformation is the ultimate purpose and gift of love. It's not just about finding happiness or avoiding loneliness. It's about becoming more fully yourself through connection with another. In the words of Jung himself, the shoe that fits one person pinches another. There is no recipe for living that suits all cases. Each love story is unique, a singular journey of two psyches discovering themselves through relationship. But understanding these universal patterns can help us navigate our unique path with greater wisdom and compassion. So look deeply at your attractions and relationships. What parts of yourself have you discovered through love? What projections might you be carrying, and how might you love others more authentically, seeing them as they truly are? The answers to these questions lead not just to better relationships, but to the ultimate Jungian goal, individuation, becoming the complete, integrated person you were meant to be.